Hello and welcome back. Let's proceed from your laptop. Last time we did up to this point. So this video, what I want to do, as you can see from our image over here, at the end of it all, this is what we want to be able to create. So as you can see from our image, we have this type of moldings over here. Over here, we also have these moldings on these balconies. So let me first do this type of molding on this balcony, so then we can proceed from there. So in order to do those types of moldings, I'll go back to my first story. You can see first. So I'll start by doing a molding on this one, and then on this one, then on this one, and typically on this one. I'll go to my first story, and then basically go ahead, go to my document, select my line tool. Use a different line for this. Let me choose something like this one, 20. This one like 20. I'll come at this point. I just draw a typical line from this edge. Okay, let me first undo this. I need for this line to be continuous, so I'll just do this line from this point to this point, and then to that edge, and then finally to that edge. Then double click it. The next thing that I want to do is to offset this, so I'll go ahead, select my line. I'm holding to my shift button. I select my line with my group suspended, and then I'll come to this tab over here, relative construction method, and then click on this arrow and go to this orbit to this and then press the marquee tool and just basically offset this. Now let's offset it at a distance of 100 yeah, let's do 100 instead. So 100, and then from there I'll go ahead, go back to design. Let me create even a new surface for this. I'll go to options, element attributes, surfaces, and then on surfaces we go to glossy white, and then create a new surface. We say glossy white. Let's copy, say let me copy one even. Just press OK, then OK. Then basically go to this my slab tab over here, and then press to a project instead of 6000 I can create it at a project 5700, and then we later on move to the elevation. You see how we can drag this slab, and then on its instead of 50 you can still use a typical 100, and then on the texture we'll apply the new texture we've just created, which is a glossy white. Copy one, make it uniform, and then just press OK. And then just go to this my marquee tool over here, this magic wand, and then I want to place this slab on this distance that I've offsetted. So I'll hold my shift button, I select these two lines, and then now use the marquee tool. I keep on calling this the marquee tool, and it's the magic wand. Then select this magic wand and just basically let me see, instead of something that I didn't do, let me go back to my line tool, document line tool. I did not close on this end over here. That's why the magic wand is not this point. So I need to have closed these edges over here, this edge and this other edge over here, and then I'll basically select these two lines, and this other one at this very edge over here. Select this, use the magic wand, and now go ahead and just place your slab right over there. When you go to 3D, let me edit this. Okay, let me go back to my first story, just escape, select these two lines again, and go back to design, slab tool, and then get to project 5700, press OK. and select even if this magic wand, I just place that over there, and then I go to my 3D. Should be somewhere over here, so it's right over here. I need to adjust it further, so I'll go to my south elevation. Let's see if I can be able to drag this. I'll just drag it like this, basically move it to a distance, by a distance of 300. Press enter. Right, by a distance of 300. I go to 3D, yeah, so it's somewhere over there. I need to do the same, but I'm trying to seem to be quite small. Can still work with 300. Okay, let me go back to my south elevation. Hold into my shift button and then right click and then move, and then basically drag a copy from this edge to some distance of 500. Enter. 500 still looks small. Let me drag it further, the distance of 200. So when I go to my 3D, I have something like that. I can now do the same for this balcony over here. This one. I go back to my south elevation still, and then basically still drag this slab. Right click, move, drag a copy, then from this edge just basically drag it to some distance, over here. I can drag it to a distance of that's 3400, so I can just do 300, 3100, so 3100. Press enter to allow it as that. 3100 seems a little bit further. Let me drag it further, move, drag distance of let me drag it to 200. Enter. So yeah, I can work with that, and then with this center one I can just drag it again. Right click, move, and then just basically drag a copy. Move this node from this edge, and at distance of typical, yeah, let me do it at this edge 908, let me do 800 on it. Press enter. And when I go to my 3D, I have something like that. The next thing that I need to do is for this other edge over here, this other side. So I'll still go back to my first story and do a replica of what we have just done right here. Basically, I go to my document, my line tool, then from this line tool, let's draw these typical lines from this edge. Let me do it up to this point over here, and then basically offset this. So in order to offset, I'm holding to my shift button, and then I activate this relative construction methods. Yeah, use this double one and then use the magic wand. Basically go ahead and just offset this. Still I'm using a typical distance of 100, then press enter. And then we need to close up these edges. So I'll just close that onto that edge. And for this one I just need to close it on this other edge, like that. And then drag this node from this edge to that point. And so with that, I'll still use one of these slabs that we have over here. So I'll hold it to this hand, use this same typical slab, and then use my magic wand and just basically go ahead and place this on that offset side there, offsetted distance. So basically we have it at this point over here. I just need to drag this, go to the elevation, and then basically drag this from where it is. I'm only to my shift button, move, drag, just basically just need to drag it to some level over here. Let me do 2900 or 2850. Yeah, that distance. Can still move another copy, drag a copy, and somewhere just on top of this. Let me say a distance of 550. Enter. There's somewhere over there. Also need to do maybe one for this other small distance over here. So shift, move, drag a copy, and then from this edge, let's say at a distance of I need for it to be move, drag a copy. I need to for it to be at the same level as this other one that we did over here. So I'll come to this edge, wait for that small circle to draw, and then it will guide me on the level that I need to place this, ensuring that so it's at this level over here. Okay, like that. So that when I go to my 3D, I have something as typical as this. So yeah, I have something as typical as that. Wow, I think there's a lot you need to do. I haven't still done the staircase for this point that is on this long window. I need to do the balcony of this. But before I go ahead further, I want to do the moldings of these windows. These typical moldings that we have over here. Let me show you guys these ones. You know, they're more or less like a windowsill, but they're there to improve on the aesthetics of this house. So I'll have it at some distance over here. I also have others on this other. Also have one on this other side. So yeah, I'll have quite many on that other side. So let me do one first for this other one. For this one. So in order to do for this one, I'll go to my. Let me start with my ground floor. Right click, go to my ground floor. So I want to place it at this window that we have, this second window over here. So I'll go to my ground floor where we are. And I want to see the level with which this my window begins at, and it's at a level of 750. So I can work with that typical 750. I'll go to my beam tool and double click this beam tool, and I use set node project, let's say 750. Project 750. Let me do it at a level of because I want to do 200 on each. Let's see. I want to do something like 500 on it. So let's say 250, the level of 250. Then go to segment, change the model. I'll still use the typical model, this molding texture of blue white that we just created. And then in terms of the dimensions of this, let's say you can work with 450, and don't need for it to be uniform, so it's 450 by 450. It should be 450 by 450. Just press OK, and I want it to begin from this edge over here on this window. I'll just drag it a distance of let's say 1700. Press enter. I want to go to 3D and see the progress of what I'm creating, if it does make sense. So let me go back to my ground floor and just grab this. It was at 1700. Let me me drag it further to this level 1500, and then from there I'll go to my column 2. Let me see the thickness of this. Yeah, can work with that kind of thickness. Okay, roll. It was 1500. Let me drag it further to 1950. Okay. So drag this to 1950. 1950, and then press enter. So leave it at that level. Leave it to 3D. Leave it at that. Let me do another. Let me drag it further to distance of 1950 to now 2050. Press enter. That can go to 3D and see. Okay, let's go back now to my ground floor. I'll go to my column tool over here. Still use a thickness of 450. Use a typical thickness of 450. And make it uniform for all. And then go to segment. Use this other texture, place a white copy. And then go back to column. Set it to a level of 750 now. 750. So 750. Just press the reference axis. I can work with this as my reference axis for this, and then just press OK. When I come to this edge, I'll have my typical column over there. The other thing that I needed to have done, but let's just see. So I have this typical column over here. If I proceed further, let me go to this beam tool. I want to see the line work for the boundaries of this beam tool so that I can use the same for my. So we're basically using 90, 90, 90. So just go back to this my column selection settings, segment, block plan and section, so that this one we are using 29, yeah, 30, and for this one we are using 90, 90, and for this one 90. For this one we are using 69, this 69, and then for this one you can just 90, 90 still, and just press OK. So I have something like that. You just need to go to my west elevation, go back to ground floor, select this west elevation, and then open with current view settings. So as I open with my current view settings, I'm being brought to this side. Basically, I want to do some dragging of this, so I'll just move this to this edge over here, and similarly with this my beam over here, I'll drag it. Let me drag my column. Let me reduce this size of this beam. It's 450 by 450. My column is still let's say column selection setting, also 450 by 450. Let me reduce this one to this distance over here. Go back to my ground floor. I want to be able to drag this beam to just go ahead and reach this level where you have this column. So from there to there, that when I go to my first elevation, I have it as that. The next thing that I can do, I just need to drag this from this distance So as I drag this this node, I have this menu that pops up. I'll use this one that allows me to stretch the height of this to this height. Just basically place it to that height over there and just escape. I need it for it to coincide with this casing, window casing, so I need it at that level. And then basically I need also to drag this beam. Let me go back to my ground floor. I need to drag this beam over here some distance further. You can use it distance of right now it's at a distance of 20, 50. I can do it at 21, 25. Enter. So that when I go to my 3D, I have it at that distance. You know, then I can just do a copy of this. Move and then drag a copy. Extend it from this side to that point. I need it for it to be at the same, to coincide with this other, with my column over there. So I have something like that. So when I go to 3D, I have something typical as that, which is what we have over here. Let me do the same for this other side. I think I do have another, the typical one at this other end. I did have one. Don't think there's any other one that I can do. Let's see how long the video is taking. So it's 22. I think for the next 8 minutes I can do something else. So let me do the railings of this balcony, the same railing that we have for this other balcony over here. So in order to do this rail, I'll go to my rail tab over here, this railing tool, just double click this. I'll set it to project from my ground floor. Okay, we have different things that can vary the top rail, the handrail, the inner posts. You can use even different textures for them, but for now I just want to work with what we have and then see the outlook and then maybe edit if need be. So I'll go to where I have my balcony. I have this balcony over here. Go to this railing tab, use my magic wand, just basically want to place it at this edge. It's not necessarily that I use the magic wand, so I won't use it. I'll just go ahead, come to this edge over here, just drag this and make at the center. Drag it like that. Just basically go ahead, continue dragging it up to this edge, then go ahead and just finish it at this point. Just double click it and go to 3D. So I'll not use this trail, I'll use this one. I'm just holding to the shift button, just delete this. Let me see the different trails that can use in order to access the different types of rails that can use. So I'm coming into this rail tab and I'm clicking on this small arrow over here so that I can have varieties of the rails that I can use. And then initially we added this one, and right now what I want to use, I can use this one, frame glass railing. and then just click outside this, go back to my first story, just basically do this rail from this page. You should take caution that you do it to be as seamless as possible. Okay, I'm still using the central, hold into the shift button, come to this rail, and use this glass panel, type of rail. You see, so yeah, you can tilt, decide to use this. I just need to vary its height. Instead of 3200, let's work with 3600. See the level in which it's going to appear. So orbit this. So I have this as that. Let me do the other rail for this other. You can decide to use another variety of rails, unlike what I've used over here. You can decide that what you typically do is you hold your shift button, you select your rail, you come to this arrow tab over here, maybe select a variety. Of course, you can't use the tip of pencil over here, but you can decide to use it on this one, the welded rail, you know, basically. So you see it appears like that, but basically this one's the mostly used where you have apartments. I think I'll stick to, yeah, I still have this one. I think for what I had used on my image, this one, I'd used typically this one. I'd used this one, but I can decide to shift this. Let me use what I had used originally over here. I seem to like this other one, glass panel, the rail. I seem to like this one. And let me work with that one. I just need to do the same for this balcony that you have right over here. This one that you have over here. I go to my first story. Actually, yeah, okay. Go back to my first story. Click on this. At some distance over here. Just click typically on that and then this one. Then double click it. Go back to 3D. We have it at what height? We have it at something like this. It's a different rail. I'll still use the initial model of rail that we had. This one. Just double click on this, and then that's what we have. You can just go ahead and orbit this. So that's what we have. You can decide to do another typical rail for this balcony over here. Though in this image we didn't have a rail on it. I'm talking about this balcony over here. I didn't have a rail on it. I just need it to be not instead of using a rail, you just increase on the height of your walling so that the wall itself can act as a rail. So I think I'll still stick to that. So let's proceed with that. So in the next video, I need to do the pergola of this somewhere over here. We have a pergola over here. Also need to do some typical moldings on these tops over here, just to improve on the aesthetics of what we have, like what we have over here. This very top surface over here, the moldings over here. I also did use a different texture over here. As you can see, it's more or less a Mazeras texture. You can do some Mazeras on this long window over here, which we'll also cover later on. So I think for this video, I'll just stop at that point. So yeah, That's it for this video.